Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. Have you ever wondered how much your child has been listening to what you tell them? You know, all those tips and pieces of advice that you give them while growing up? Sometimes we just hope they're paying attention, but it can be hard to know for sure. Well, one dad found out in the most surprising way possible when his son, who had just turned 18, made an announcement. He was no longer going to listen to anything his parents said. And then he proved it by doing something completely unexpected. It was definitely not what the dad expected, but the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. And now every parent watching this story is thanking their kid for doing this. Our next Reddit story comes from a user. My son is 18 and has just graduated high school. His whole life he's been told things like, don't talk with your hands, which he does constantly. Stop chewing gum. That's disgusting. Even though he has bad breath, stop playing video games. You'll ruin your eyes. Although my wife and I both have glasses, clean your room or I'm gonna take away your console. He did have a very messy room, so we weren't lying here. Be nice to your sister. She's younger than you. You need to protect her, which he never did. Don't go outside. It's dangerous. Even though we live in a great neighborhood and our kid has always been quite happy, go say thank you to your grandparents. Whenever they came over and he would just ignore them, stop being lazy, get off the couch, which he would often do after school, especially if he was playing a fun game. Eat your vegetables. Yeah, that one went about as well as you'd expect, and stop wasting water. Be more mindful of your usage. The point is that he's heard a lot of stop doing this, start doing that type of commands throughout his childhood. So last week, about 2 weeks before his birthday, he told us that starting on his 18th birthday, he won't listen to anything we say anymore. We were kind of angry at first, but then we laughed it off because we knew he was joking. Well, last Sunday rolled around and he reminded us that come Monday, he wouldn't listen to any of us anymore. Still laughing, we asked him what was so funny and he simply said, "No, I'm serious. Come Monday, I don't care what you say. If you ask me to stop doing something, I will keep doing it." Okay, so he wasn't joking, but we didn't think he'd actually stick to it. On Monday morning, we were making fun of him as he left for college, yelling, "Don't forget to breathe, Jacob, otherwise you'll pass out from lack of oxygen. And watch out for cars, they really do want you dead." He just shook his head and smiled. Throughout the week, we kept getting texts from him saying things like, "You were right, the food here tastes better than yours." Or, "It was wrong." Of course, I got hit by a car crossing the street. The guy just didn't see me. We were shocked because he was actually taking everything we said seriously. Well, last night we got a phone call from his dorm supervisor. Apparently, he had flooded his bathroom because he left the water running the whole night. As it turns out, he decided that instead of just ignoring us, he would do everything we tell him not to do. And he kept the water running because we told him to be mindful of his water usage. He also said that he refused to eat his vegetables, even though we already paid for them. He threw them in the trash. This went on for hours and hours. This morning we got a text from him saying he's sorry. Says he understands that we only wanted the best for him. And then he wrote, "But now I understand what you mean. Starting now, I won't do anything you tell me to do. From now on, I will do everything you tell me to stop doing. Thank you for all your advice over the years. I promise to use it wisely." I'm not sure if he's trolling us or not, but I gotta say it's a pretty damn funny revenge. The fact that he kept the water running until it flooded the bathroom shows how determined he was. We're still kind of mad at him, but we have to admit it was pretty badass. We're just waiting to see what happens when he comes home for Christmas break. Update about a week later. So today I received a package. Inside was a picture frame with a picture of me, my wife, and Jacob on his 6th birthday. Swiss Jacob. His caption read, "Thanks for everything you've done for me. I love you guys. Love, Jacob." On the back of the frame was a small note that read, "Just wait till next Christmas break." Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, OP, I think you should look forward to it. I think it'll be pretty funny. Our next Reddit story comes from another user. My son said, "Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. I don't want to be treated like one." Then he moved out. He worked hard all through high school and saved up enough money from his part-time job to rent a decent one-bedroom apartment near his workplace. He was so proud of himself, and he should have been. He's only 19. He took care of all the paperwork and arrangements by himself, even set up the utilities and internet service. He's a smart kid, and we're really proud of him. He moved out 3 months ago, and we were excited to visit him in his place for the first time. We were all excited to see where he lived, how he decorated, and just see what his adult life looked like. When we arrived, he greeted us at the door wearing nothing but a pair of basketball shorts. "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I have a shower and it's upstairs and there's a bathroom down the hall and feel free to make yourself comfortable. Also, do you want to help me move some boxes?" We awkwardly said yes to everything and helped him unpack, marveling at how big the boxes of stuff he brought with him were. When we were alone, my husband and I talked to our son about boundaries and personal space. How we needed to knock and ask to come in rather than just opening the door and walking in. We told him we understood that he wanted to live his own life, but that he was still our baby boy and we worried about him. For example, we noticed that his fridge was basically empty, except for a 6-pack of root beer and a bottle of hot sauce. We asked him if he ate, and he said he just had takeout. We suggested he stock up on some groceries, and he replied, "That sounds like a chore." We dropped it after that. That night, we went out to dinner together and tried to bond as a family. Got along well and had a good night. We dropped him back off at his apartment, and we gave him a hug goodbye. 2 days ago, my husband got a call from his boss asking if he could come in early to cover for him. He accepted without thinking much of it. As he got ready, my son called and asked if he could borrow some clothes. My husband asked what happened, and my son explained that he spilled spaghetti sauce on himself and ruined his only clean shirt. My husband said, "Bring your dirty clothes over, and I'll give you something to wear." When he arrived, he dumped his clothes into the washing machine and put on a new shirt. Later that day, my son sent my husband a long text explaining that he needed some support and guidance. He said that he was having trouble paying his bills and other expenses. He mentioned that he missed having home-cooked meals, said he missed us. He ended his message by asking if he could come stay with us for a bit. My husband and I were overjoyed, of course. We told him to come stay with us as long as he needed. After my son moved in, I started cooking his favorite meals. He ate everything and said they tasted just like they used to. One night we were eating dinner and I asked him why he waited so long to reach out for help. He said, "I was trying to make it on my own, but I think I was in too deep and I couldn't handle it all myself. I'm sorry I said those things to you after I moved out. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to be on my own." I told him it was okay and that I loved him. A few weeks after living with us, my son found a cheap used car and got a second part-time job. He started saving up money again to move out on his own. We respect that and are happy to help whenever we can. So, OP, what did you learn from this? Kids may not always tell you they appreciate you, but they usually show you. And what a show it was. These parents really showed OP what they thought. Well, that's all for this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out more content.